BMF Season 4 Episode 8 just flipped the whole board. Bodies dropped. Betrayal crept in, and loyalty got tested like never before. If you thought last week was heavy, this episode came through swinging even harder. One wrong move, and everything starts falling apart. Everything kicked off in chaos. The aftermath of Episode 7 left us with smoke in the air and bodies on the ground, and Episode 8 wasted no time. Meech is on edge, the streets are talking, and trust. That word don't mean nothin' right now. The episode opens with Meech deep in thought, realizing the walls are closing in. Too many stashes hit, too many moves exposed. And just like we feared, Lass really did flip. That wire he wore. It wasn't just for show. That dude tried to serve Meech up on a silver plate, but, lucky for Meech, he peeped it before things got too deep. Mickey, meanwhile, is still moving in the shadows like a ghost. He watching, he waiting. And after what happened last episode, he ain't playing games no more. He knows his time is running out, but if he's going out, he taking somebody with him. And let's not forget, that little moment with Lass. That was calculated? He made it look like he was helping, but deep down, he already had a body bag zipped up and waiting. That boy Mickey is cold-blooded now. Meech and Terry are trying to regroup, but they ain't on the same page. Terry's tired. He's done with the music distraction. Done with the drama with Purdy, done with watching his crew fall apart. But Meech, he's got that tunnel vision. He keeps talking about legacy, expansion, California. He ain't thinking small time no more. He's talking empire, while Terry's worried about survival. And that's the problem. When brothers ain't on the same page, cracks start showing. You could feel the tension in every scene they shared. One step away from throwing hands. Nicole and Lucille are also caught in their own storm. Nicole just gave birth, but there ain't no peace in that house. Lucille's sitting on drug money, playing holy in the church while the board is sniffing around, asking questions. The donation drama is heating up, and now Kesha's back to reclaim her spot. As pastor, yeah, Lucille's crown is slipping, and she knows it. That church ain't big enough for both of them, and Lucille's pride won't let her walk away without a fight. Meanwhile, Charles is trying to stay focused on the music. He finally found something he loves again, something that makes him feel like he got purpose. But even that's slipping through his fingers. Purdy's gone. And that girl's death shook him hard. She was supposed to be his project, his second chance. Now he's watching the dream crash. Again. That moment in the studio, where he just sat there staring at the empty mic. Man, that hit hard. Real hard. But the one player that really made noise this episode. Boom. That dude came back like a storm. He's still salty about Terry beating him down, and now he's plotting. He's got Marcia in his pocket, or at least he thinks he does. But Marcia's playing both sides. She's smiling in Boom's face, but every move she makes is to help Terry. Or maybe it's just for herself. Either way, she's dangerous. And Boom, he ain't gonna let another woman play him like a fool. He's coming with heat. Expect that the feds, of course, are turning up the pressure. Detective Bryant is running around like a mad dog, obsessed with bringing Meech down. But here's the problem, he ain't got enough. Lass was his shot, and now Lass is out the picture. That whole plan, dead in the water. So now he's desperate, reckless, and you already know desperate cops do stupid things. Bryant's about to cross lines even he didn't think he'd touch. Back to Meechie's moving toward California, lining up new alliances, setting up the next chapter. But the game in Cali ain't sweet. New players, new politics, and nobody out there knows him. No favors, no family, just Meech, trying to build something out of nothing while his empire back home crumbles. The setup is clear. Something big is coming. But Meech, he might be walking into a trap. And with everything around him falling apart, his focus might be his biggest weakness. This episode was just the calm before the storm. Secrets stacking up. Betrayals right around the corner. Bodies dropping and no one knows who to trust. The only thing that's certain, by the end of this, someone important ain't making it out alive. Everything started feeling off. Like something in the air wasn't right. And the deeper we go into this episode, the more we see loyalty ain't what it used to be. People that used to ride together. Now they watching each other from across the room like strangers. And when it comes to Meech and his crew, those cracks are starting to turn into open wounds. Let's talk about Lass first. That boy had one job: keep quiet and hold it down. But the moment the heat came, he folded like laundry. Wearing a wire. Trying to catch Meech slipping, Nah, that's the kind of betrayal that gets you buried. And Mickey, he saw it. You could see it in his eyes. Like he already knew Lass wasn't built for this. So he did what had to be done. Smooth, clean, no witnesses. Lass got in that car, thinking he had a way out. Instead, he caught a bullet in a one-way ride to the afterlife. That was personal. Not just for BMF, but for the code. You flip, you fall. Simple as that, but even with Lass gone, the damage was done. Detective Bryant is spooked. He knows something's off. No callback, no signal from the wire, and now Lass is ghosted. He don't got proof, but he knows deep down Meech, or somebody close to him handled it. And that makes Bryant even more dangerous. He's desperate. He's angry. And that badge don't mean nothin' to him no more. He's not out here looking for justice, he wants blood. He wants revenge for Kevin, for Lass, for every time Meech slipped through his hands. And when a man like that gets cornered, he turns rabid. Back at home, things ain't looking too sweet either. Lucille is still clinging to that church title, but that grip is slipping fast. Kesha's return shook the whole foundation. Lucille used to be the one people turned to for guidance, for faith, but now, she's the one being questioned. That donation money, those luxury purchases, that power she's been holding onto, it's all getting aired out. And the church board. They ain't dumb. They see what's going on. Even if they don't say it directly, everybody in that room knows that money came from the streets, from Meech, from drugs, from blood, and Lucille. She don't even deny it. She just doubles down, saying, y'all was broke. I brought the bag. Now suddenly, y'all want to act holy. That's how far gone she is. Pride done swallowed her whole, and now, she's about to lose the one place she thought would never turn on her. That church ain't just politics, it was her safe space, her protection. Once that's gone, Lucille's gonna feel what it's like to be truly exposed. Meanwhile, Nicole's in survival mode. She just gave birth, Lucille's melting down, and she ain't got nobody around to help. No Charles, no Meech, no Terry, just her, trying to stay strong, but barely hanging on. And then there's LaWanda coming in with advice, prayers, and a whole lot of shade. She's trying to play peacemaker, but let's be honest. Nicole don't need words right now, she needs stability. And with everything crashing around her, that baby might be the only thing keeping her grounded. Back in the streets, Trell still, moving. Dirty Purdy's death didn't shake him one bit. He set her up, sent that poison-laced package, then sat back like it was just business. Talking about she was ungrateful. That's cold. Straight evil. And now he thinks he can just slide back into the game like nothing happened. Nah. That boy signed his death warrant the moment he took Purdy out. Meech might be calm on the outside, but he ain't forgetting. That revenge is coming sooner than Trell thinks. But while Meech is planning his next move, Terry's patience is running out. That scene where they argued outside the studio, that hit different. Terry's fed up. He told Meech plain and simple, this music stuff, this drama with women, the distractions, it's all costing them the empire they built. And Meech, he ain't hearing it. He's stuck on vision, stuck on expansion. But what good is a dream if your foundation's falling apart? That's the divide. One brother wants to grow. The other just wants to survive. And somewhere in between, their whole operation is slipping through the cracks. Boom is still lingering in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike. His partnership with Marcia is fragile. He thinks she's loyal, thinks she's building something real. Marcia's loyalty is to herself. She's using Boom to get back in the game, to reposition herself. And when it's time to choose sides, Boom might realize too late that he's been a pawn in someone else's strategy. And Boom, he don't take betrayal lightly. That fallout's coming. It's just a matter of who pulls the trigger first. Now let's talk about Mickey again. That man is spiraling. He's got blood on his hands, a target on his back, and his own wife warning him to stop before it's too late. But he's too deep. He can't turn around now. In his mind, this ain't revenge, it's justice. He lost everything: his name, his respect, his peace, and now he's chasing closure like it's a drug. But closure don't come easy in the game. And when Lamar returns, oh yeah, it's curtains. That man ain't showing up to talk. He's coming to collect. As the episode pushes forward, you start to feel it, the tension, the paranoia, the sense that every move could be the wrong one. Meech's crew is smaller, more exposed. The feds are circling. The enemies are getting bolder. And the people Meech thought he could trust, they're either dead, missing, or secretly plotting. It's a pressure cooker. And it's only a matter of time before it blows. Things heat up in a whole new direction. This episode when Meech starts setting his eyes on the West Coast. And if y'all thought Detroit was rough, just wait till Cali comes into play. See, Meech ain't just building a street empire. He's trying to build a legacy. A brand that stretches coast to coast. And California. That's the next big move. But new territory means new threats. And the moment Meech starts making noise out west, he finds out real quick nobody plays nice in a new city. Loco is the bridge. He's been vouching for Meech, telling the Cali bosses this is the guy that can move weight, bring profit, and keep the streets in check. And for now, they listening. But Meech ain't just dealing with businessmen, these are killers with ties to cartels, and loyalty out there. That don't come easy. Meech walks into Cali thinking he's about to negotiate. But really, he's walking into a test. One slip, one wrong word, and it's lights out. And that's where Maui comes in, a new character. Slick, quiet, watching Meech real close. He's not smiling, not shaking hands, just observing. That tells us everything. Maui ain't here to be Meech's friend. He's here to see if Meech is soft, if he can be trusted, or if he's just another out-of-town hustler with a big mouth and a death wish. Every word Meech says around Maui matters. Every deal. Every pause. It's chess. And Meech knows it. Meanwhile, back in Detroit, things are unraveling fast. Charles is still in the mix, trying to help finish what he and Purdy started. You could tell her death hit him hard. That studio was supposed to be her redemption. Now it feels like a tomb. Charles ain't cut for this world. He's still trying to bring structure and meaning into chaos, but he's in way over his head. The music business ain't clean, and now that it's tied to the BMF name, it's only gonna pull him deeper. And let's not ignore what went down at the radio station. That moment where Tell calls in and exposes Purdy live on air. That was a final slap in the face, cold-blooded. Meech had to step in quick and shut that mess down. But the damage was already done. You can hear the tension building. Tell's walking around like he's untouchable, like the coke-laced package that killed Purdy wasn't his doing. But everybody knows. And if he don't get taken out by the end of this season, fans gone riot. Back in the club scene, Mickey shows up silent, lurking. He ain't talking, just listening. He already clocked Lass, already cleaned that mess up. Now he's tracking who's next. That dude moves like a shadow, never loud, never messy. But when he strikes, it's final. He hears everything going on in the club, from fake deals to snaky whispers. And he's storing that info, building his next move. The look in his eyes said it all. He's not done yet. Not by a long shot. Then we got Detective Bryant Mann's cracking. Straight up, he's pacing his office, digging into files, yelling at everyone, trying to hold on to control he don't even got anymore. Lass was his key, and now Lass is in a ditch. He's got no case, no wire evidence, no leverage, but instead of backing off, he's doubling down, pushing harder. And that's dangerous. Because desperate cops bend rules. They twist stories. And Bryant, he's looking more like a loose cannon than a lawman right now. And when a man like that's losing, he starts aiming at everyone. Mitch, Terry, Mickey, whoever looks guilty. Meanwhile, Marcia is making quiet moves. She's smart, too smart to let Boom keep pulling the strings. Yeah, she's riding with him for now, smiling, playing her role. But her eyes, they're locked on that plug from Texas. She knows Boom's useful, but temporary. She's already planning her next play. Maybe it's for Terry, maybe it's for herself. Either way, she ain't loyal. She's a survivor. And survivors always jump ship before it sinks. Boom just ain't noticed yet. Meech and Terry's tension hits a boiling point. Again, they've been bumping heads all season. But now it's personal. Terry's tired of being the cleanup crew for Meech's big picture plans. He's tired of the music stuff, tired of the street mess, tired of pretending things are under control when they ain't. Meech, on the other hand, keeps acting like he's untouchable, like the vision matters more than the present. And that clash, it's dangerous. Because when brothers start fighting with egos instead of logic, empires fall. Let's circle back to Lucille. She's still in the fire. The board at the church is cornering her, throwing eyes, demanding answers, and her pride. It's still louder than her logic. She's out here justifying everything, saying the ends justify the means. But we all know what happens to prideful people in BMF sooner or later. The streets humble them. Whether it's through shame, betrayal, or a bullet, everybody gets checked eventually. and Lucille's time might be coming. Back at the club, tension is rising. Meech arrives late. Music blasting, people drinking, fake smiles everywhere but real ones are few. He can feel it, the vibe is off. People are nervous, distracted, waiting. Then he sees Lass. That wire glinting for just a second before the dude walks out. Suspicion sets in. Meech don't say nothing, but the look on his face. It said everything. He knows somebody close just tried to burn him. And that's where Mickey comes in. Like clockwork. No words, just presence. He follows Lass out, calm, collected. Lass thinking maybe there's still a way out, maybe this ain't what it looks like, but Mickey, he's already written the ending. And when he tells Lass, let's smoke one, that's the last friendly sentence Lass ever heard. Another one bites the dust. And once again, no one saw a thing. Now the final minutes of the episode start to squeeze. Bryant's losing his mind back at HQ, slamming desks, screaming, because Lass went dark. Tells in the cut, celebrating like he ain't got a target on his back. Lucille's church seat getting pulled out from under her. Terry's patience gone. And Meech, he's quiet, but behind those eyes, planning something big. BMF ain't just fighting the feds anymore. They fighting each other, they fighting time, and they fighting fate. The streets are shifting. And the only ones who make it out are the ones who adapt fast or get ruthless. Now this is where things get real twisted. Everything that happened in episode 8 was already wild, but it's this stretch where we really see the roles flipping. The hunters, they ain't hunting no more. They being hunted, and the people you thought were prey. They loading clips and choosing violence. This whole episode built like a chess match played in the middle of a shootout, calculated moves. Fake smiles, and every step dripping with danger. Let's get back to Detective Bryant. This dude been chasing Meech since the jump. Always thought he was 3 steps ahead, like he had it all figured out. But now, he's drowning. Lass was his key witness. And that wire he thought was gonna seal the case gone. Lass ghosted communication. Cut. And Bryant out here still thinking maybe he's just laying low. But deep down, he knows Lass is gone. And the worst part, he don't even know how, when, or where. No body. No evidence. Just silence. And that silence. It's loud. Bryant's paranoia kicks in heavy. You see it in how he starts treating his own people, snapping on fellow officers, revisiting case files like he missed something, like maybe it's his fault. Truth is it is, he played dirty for too long, and now karma is collecting. His obsession with Meech has him blind, and that blindness, it's gonna cost him everything. He ain't just in a war with BMF anymore, he's in a war with himself, and he's losing. Meanwhile, Meech is on the move. He knows the feds are getting reckless. The stashes hit last week. That wasn't coincidence. That was inside info, and it don't take a genius to figure out someone's been talking. So Meech tightens the circle. No new faces. No unnecessary meetings. If your loyalty ain't rock solid, you're out. That's the new rule. He ain't asking questions no more. He's making cuts. And you can feel that shift. Meech ain't just playing defense anymore. He's going on the offensive. Let's talk about Tell. This dude been walking around like he's invisible. Like he can do what he wants, and nobody gonna touch him. But after what he did to Purdy, his days are numbered. He pulled that fake Romeo act, fed her poison, and smiled through it like she was the problem. But that little card he left in her package, knock 'em dead. That's gonna come back to haunt him. Because Meech don't forget, and when it's time to pay. Tell gonna be the first to feel it, and don't sleep on Ashley Purdy's friend. The one trying to hold her down, who watched her spiral and still tried to help. She's grieving now. Quietly, but that silence, dangerous. You can tell she's about to flip the script. She ain't got love for the street life, but she got heart. And if she decides to step in and help Meech, especially after what Tell did, that might be the thing that seals Tell's fate. Sometimes the loudest revenge comes from the quietest ones. On the home front, Nicole and Lucille are living through their own storm. Nicole's water broke. No help, no men around. Just her and her mother, in a house filled with tension, betrayal, and unspoken pain. That scene wasn't just emotional, it was symbolic. 2 generations of women, alone in a world that's falling apart around them. The birth of new life, while everything else seems to be dying. You could see it in Lucille's face, regret, fear, guilt. This wasn't how she planned things. She thought taking the money would fix it all. Now, she's watching the cost unfold in real time. Back in the game, Boom is putting pieces together. He's not stupid. He might move loud and act cocky, but when it comes to reading people, Boom's sharp. He's starting to realize Marcia ain't really with him, she's using him, and that Texas plug he introduced her to. That was a gift he's starting to regret. Because once she gets what she needs from him, Boom knows it's over. And if he finds out she's been feeding info back to Terry, it's gonna get ugly. Boom don't forgive. He just strikes. Now we get to Mickey again. This man is becoming the silent shadow of death. Every scene he's in feels heavy. You never know if he's gonna talk, walk away, or pull the trigger. That moment with Lass. Clean, precise. And now he's tracking his next move. He's listening to Bryant slip up. Watching Meech's enemies move sloppy. He knows the game better than most, and even though his wife keeps telling him to quit, he can't. Because to Mickey, this ain't about BMF no more, it's personal, it's legacy. It's unfinished business. Out in California, Meech is walking a tightrope. The plug is testing him. Maui's watching him. Loco is vouching for him, but for how long? This new circle ain't warm, and it damn sure ain't loyal. Collie moves fast, and Meech better adjust quick or get swallowed whole. But one thing about Mitch, he knows how to read a room. He knows when to play cool and when to press the gas. And in this case, he's playing the long game, earning trust, making quiet power moves, and letting his name ring without having to shout it. The episode also gives us one of the coldest scenes yet, be Mickey and Lass in that car. No yelling, no back and forth, just calm, eerie silence. Mickey offers him a smoke. Lass says he's down. Mickey declines. Then boom, lights out. That whole setup was slick, cold, almost emotionless. That's when you know B. Mickey ain't the same. He's not conflicted anymore. He's focused. He's transformed. And now that he's stepped back into full-blown killer mode, there's no going back. But don't think for a second that all these kills and power plays mean BMF's safe. If anything, they're more exposed than ever. Too many enemies. Too many loose ends. Too many people moving out of pocket. The stashes are still getting hit. The feds still watching. And Detective Bryant is about to unleash hell, even if he has to burn everything down with him. And let's not forget Lamar. He ain't even shown up in this episode. But his shadow is everywhere. People keep whispering his name like he's a ghost, like he's the last storm waiting to hit. And from what we've seen in that trailer, yacht's coming. And when Lamar steps back in the picture, all this street politics, betrayal, and backstabbing, it's gonna feel like child's play. Because Lamar don't play chess. He plays war. Everything in this episode was setting the stage for the end, the final war. The collapse, the betrayal, the blood, and if episode 8 is the pressure, episode 9 is gonna be the explosion. By the time we hit the last stretch of this episode, everything feels like it's moving in slow motion, but the danger, it's speeding up like a bullet with no brakes. Every move Meech and his crew make now is a risk. Every conversation, a trap, every alliance, hanging by a thread. And this episode, it ends with more questions than answers, but one thing's for sure, ain't nobody safe anymore. Let's start with Meech and Terry. Their bond been rocky all season, but now it's fraying beyond repair. Terry's done biting his tongue. He's tired of Meech's long game, tired of feeling like the cleanup crew while Meech makes king moves. That studio, that club, that music money, it ain't adding up the way Meech promised. And Terry's not stupid. He's watching how people move, watching the weight shift, watching who Meech trusts more than his own blood, and it's cutting deep. In this episode, Terry finally says it, "I ain't your shadow no more." That line, that's the dagger. That's years of resentment exploding in one sentence. Meech don't even flinch when he hears it, just stares, silent, but you can feel it in the air. The brothers ain't riding together no more. It's not just business, it's personal now. And when that kind of split happens inside the heart of BMF, it don't just create tension, it creates chaos. And then we got Bryant, spiraling hard. Dude is straight up unhinged now. Lass disappeared, and he knows damn well it's not a coincidence. He's putting together timelines matching audio, digging through phone records, even pulling favors he ain't got no right to ask for. But here's the thing, his obsession with Meech is turning into madness. He's not even looking for justice anymore. He's looking for revenge, and when a dirty cop like Bryant starts acting like a vigilante, that's when people get hurt. Not criminals, not soldiers, innocents. He's putting pressure on civilians, questioning people with no ties to the game, threatening folks who just want to be left alone. And that's what makes him dangerous. He ain't playing by no book anymore, he's writing his own. And the cover page. Meech must fall. Let's not forget Lucille and the church scandal. It's exploding now. They found out where the money came from. The whispers have turned into meetings. They pulling her aside. Smiles turning into frowns. And that legacy Lucille thought she was building through the church. Crumbling. She tried to play God while dealing with the devil. And the cost. Her reputation, her peace, and maybe her daughter's future. Nicole gave birth in silence, in fear, in pain. And Lucille's finally realizing she traded her family's soul for a building that don't even love her back. That moment, when she looks at her newborn grandchild, that's the weight of everything hitting her at once. The lies, the money, the judgment, and the haunting realization that all the prayers in the world can't fix the damage she helped. 'Cause meanwhile, B. Mickey is in full assassin mode now. Cold.com, calculated. He ain't asking for permission. He's not checking in. He's handling problems the way old-school soldiers do. Quiet and clean. And now that he's cleaned up last, he's on to tell. That man's days are numbered. He walking around like he's untouchable, like he's playing both sides. But Mickey already got his scent. And if history taught us anything when Mickey makes eye contact, your clock is ticking. Back in California, things are turning fast. The plug is watching Meech closely now. Maui still ain't speaking, but his presence, loud as hell. They watching for weakness. Waiting for Meech to fold. And Meech. He ain't showing fear, but he knows what's at stake. This ain't just about making money no more. It's about staying alive long enough to see the vision through. Meech is calculating every word, every handshake, every silence, and one slip in this new world. It won't be a warning, it'll be a body bag. Boom and Marshman, this is about to explode. Boom's ego is inflating, thinking he's back, in control. But Marsha, she's light years ahead of him. She already got access to the Texas plug. Already making silent calls. She ain't scared of Boom, she's done with him. And when she makes her final move, it's gonna hurt. Because Boom still thinks she's his. Still thinks he's the boss. But what he don't know is Marsha already chose her side. And it ain't his. And then, the final scene. Meech is standing alone, in the club. Lights dim, music low, no smiles, no toasts, just silence. He's surrounded by people, but feels alone. The empire is growing, but so are the cracks. His brother don't trust him. His crew is split, the feds are circling. And his enemies, closer than ever. The game is heavier than it's ever been. And Meech, he don't blink. He just lights his cigar, stares into the distance, and walks out. Because real kings don't fold when the crown gets heavy, they adjust it, and move in silence. Final word. This episode wasn't just another chapter, it was a warning, a shift. A reminder that in this game, the deeper you go, the darker it gets. And by the time you try to climb out, you already buried too deep. BMF Season 4 Episode 8 left us breathless. And if you think this is the peak, just wait, the storm's only getting louder.